society. We live in a democracy, don't we? That's why sometimes you believe that freedom of expression is actually not absolute when this kind of thing is curtailed. Actually, I didn't want to talk very long. I just thought I'll say this much and leave the house open for debate. But I'd just like to end with a quote by an American historian. You may have heard of him, Alfred Whitney Griswold, who said, books won't stay banned and they won't be burned, and an idea won't go to jail. And the censor and the inquisitor have always lost throughout history. And the best weapon against a bad idea is a better idea. I will always request you think very hard about this bill. There's nothing greater than the force of public opinion. Ultimately, the people who will lose out with the draconian clause in this bill is people like you, journalists amongst us, and consumers of media amongst us, and society in general.
What I meant for we are the ultimate beneficiary of the freedom of expression. Because the freedom of expression is meant to disseminate information. So the right information must go to the masses. And then the correct awareness on the public issues may be formulated. And am I right? This is what you wanted to say. Yes. That is what I meant.
Infringement on the right of the media will be an infringement on your right. Ultimately, who benefited when Operation West End was held? People like you and me, as it is. It exposed corruption. It showed that your taxpayer money is actually going into ministers' pockets and middlemen's pockets. Why would you want that? If that kind of power is taken away from the media, then who ultimately loses? It's people like you and me.
Yeah. Now, anybody else want to ask questions? I have got certain questions, some basic questions about this. Now, I definitely agree with you that the freedom of expression is most important. It flows from Article 19 of the Constitution. The freedom of expression carries with it the freedom of press. That is what the Supreme Court has done in such like case. But all freedoms are subject to reasonable restrictions, conceived in public interest. So there is nothing like an absolute freedom for the media, because media is there, media does play an important role, media is a fourth estate, it has got a power. Since it has a power, there's a greater responsibility on it to exercise that power with certain amount of responsibilities. Now the control by the government, undoubtedly, that whenever the power is vested with the government, it is not only against the media, but even against so many other institutions, that power has been always abused. No doubt about that. So that, as you in your own terms, as a consumer of the media, as a consumer of the information, I would like the media to be free from the abuse of power by the government. But my question is, that is media subjected to this type of censorship from the government alone? Is there no censorship of the proprietorship of the press? Is now media has become a big commercial venture. And having become a big commercial venture, the professional ethics of journalism, is my view, has taken the second seat now. And therefore, so far as the editorial policies of the so many leading journals, so many leading newspapers, so many leading TV channels, if we go to examine them, we will see that they are certainly following a particular agenda. Now the one agenda they are following rather ruthlessly is the free market is almost like a demigod. And the people who try to voice the criticism of free market are either marginalized, either ridiculed, or are not even, or given such a small little space in print media and as well as in the electronic media, that their views are not properly or represented, or not even represented in a balanced way. So while we are with the media, we would like to have the media to be free. How do we ensure the accountability of media to be impartial and objective, and to discharge its basic ethical duty to present all the